What's up, you guys? Today's video, I'm gonna be telling you guys a little story about how I got pulled over for the first time. And as you can tell, the audio is a little bit different for today's video. I actually have a mic on for this video. I bought the mic a while back, way before I even started my channel, but I never really tested the mic out to see what kind of quality it gave. So that's what I'm doing today, and hopefully it's pretty good quality audio for you guys. So I'm hoping for the best. Okay, so anyway, back to today's video. It is a story time about the first time that I got pulled over. And honestly, this wasn't that long ago. I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember, but it wasn't that long ago because I remember it like if it was yesterday. So it was recent. Okay, no, so I remember it was last year in around October, because I went to Mexico in December and I remember paying before I left to Mexico. So it was last year, 2017, around November or October, one of those 2 months. I got pulled over for speeding, and I know it's crazy because I never usually speed, and I don't know what I was, oh wait, I do remember what I was doing that day that I got the ticket. But it was for speeding, and I regret speeding, and I shouldn't have been speeding, but I was speeding. Okay, so I did mention that it was around fall, so the sun goes down really early. I remember being an hour away from my house. I was at school that day, and after school ended, I went over to my friend's house. I stayed there until around 7:30 or 8, around there. And so my mom, you know, Mexican parents are kind of strict sometimes, and since it was already dark by 5 o'clock, my parents would want me home really early, which was like around 6. And if I was out even later, then they'd be like, where are you? Like, get home. You know how parents are. 7 o'clock comes around, 7:30, around there, I believe. And my mom, I get a text from my mom, and she asked me like, where am I? And I was like, well, I'm with my friend. I'm already gonna go home right now. And so I leave my friend's house, I get in my car, and I go home. The drive to my house takes an hour. I left my friend's house. I was on the freeway already getting to my house. I was about 10 minutes away. At that time, my mom had texted me again like, hey, where are you? I had a feeling she was mad, and that when I would get home, she would yell at me, even though she hadn't really ever done that. So I don't know why I told myself like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I honestly thought I was gonna get yelled at. Like, in the back of my head, I didn't really care, but then again, I did care. I think I left my friend's house at like 7:45, close to being 8. I remember being close to my house, and it was about to be 8:30. So before I got to my house, I told myself that I would get home by 8:30, and the drive is usually an hour, so imagine how fast I was going. So I almost get to my house, and by this point I'm already going above 80, and the speed limit was 65. So that was really bad. I got pulled over for going 84. Okay, so it was really dark, and usually when I drive, I don't know how you guys drive, but when I drive, I tend to look in my mirrors constantly to see if there's any other car behind me. And I was in the fast lane. I was driving, and I looked in the mirrors, and I didn't see any car, but then I looked away. I remember listening to music for like 10 seconds, and then I look at my mirrors again, and then out of nowhere, there's a car behind me, and it happened to be the cop. So by this time, I'm already pulling over on the side of the road, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, why was I speeding? Like, I shouldn't have been getting this ticket if I wasn't speeding. Why was I speeding? You shouldn't have been speeding. And so the highway patrol gets out of his car, and so he comes over to the car, and it's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, yeah, I was speeding. And so I think he asked me like, do you know how fast you were going? And I told him like 80 something, and he's like, yeah, I got you for 84. So right away he's like, can I see your license and your registration? And so I give it to him, and he goes back to his car. And so I was just praying in the car, like, Diosito, ayúdame. I was praying that he didn't give me a citation, but he ended up giving it to me. And I was sad for it, but I know I deserved it because I shouldn't have been speeding. The good thing is he was kind of nice. He did lower the amount that I was going at. So I was going 84, and I think he wrote 75 or 79 on the paper on the citation. I don't really remember what number it was, but it was one of those two. He had lowered it because he told me I could go and do traffic school, which was a good thing because then the citation or the insurance wouldn't go up and it wouldn't be on my record. So that was a good thing. I get back on the freeway. I'm almost home. It was like 5 minutes away from my house. And the whole time in the car, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have gotten that ticket if I wasn't speeding, but I got it. What can I do? And so I get home and I was thinking like whether or not I should tell my parents if that I got the ticket. But then again, it was my first ticket, so I wasn't sure how to hide it. So I did end up telling my parents right when I got home. I was like, hey, ¿qué creen? Me pararon. And they were like, what? Surprisingly, they weren't as mad as I expected them to be. They were just like, wow, you know, you're not supposed to be speeding. So they weren't really mad, and I was really surprised by that because I expected them to be mad, more mad than they were. So basically they were like, well, you gotta learn from your mistakes, and that's basically what they told me. It was my first ticket, so I wasn't really sure what traffic school was gonna do for me or what it was. You had to go to a class to take them, and I didn't want to do that. It's not that I didn't want to, I was just busy with school and work, so I didn't really have time to go to the class. So I found out that you could do traffic school online, which was a way better option for me, and so that's what I did. So I got the citation, and it takes a while for the government or like the court or whatever to process the citation, and it took a while. It took about like 2-3 weeks maybe for me to get the paper in the mail saying how much I had to pay. I ended up paying $300, and then to do traffic school online I had to pay for that, which was another $25 around there. And so when I got home that night, I went straight to my room and I started looking up websites that I could do traffic school on. And little did I know, not all of the websites that I looked for were accepted by the court. The court has a list that says which ones they let you use, and I had no clue. I did not know about that. So that same night I had signed up for a traffic school that I didn't know if it was accepted by the court or not. I started doing the traffic school and I finished it that night, which I wasn't supposed to do. I was supposed to wait for my paper to come in the mail first. So I finished the traffic school, and thankfully like 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks maybe, and I went to go pay for the ticket. They had a paper where it said what websites were accepted by the court, and thankfully the one I used was accepted, so I was good for that. They fined me also. It was like a processing fee, which was another 20 bucks. That's basically my story, and I do regret going so fast. Now, did I learn my lesson? Yes, I did. I don't go over 80 anymore. I don't want to get pulled over anymore. Okay, well, that's basically it, you guys. That's my story of getting pulled over for the first time. So if you guys get pulled over, make sure you guys do traffic school. I recommend doing it online. It's so much easier than having to go to the class. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to do that. And follow me on my social media accounts. I leave them in the description. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.